the negotiation between Prince and Warner Records. One of the biggest problems in the recording industry has always been the creative freedom artists have had when they sign to a major record label. Record labels present themselves as knowing how to market an artist for success, but also what will sell. While in 1978, when Prince released his debut album, many artists were still unaware of what it meant to sign to a record label. Today, artists know what is being offered to them, and they are still choosing to take bad contracts. All of this, however, is what caused Prince to make a public stand on these issues and spark an industry revolution. His groundbreaking negotiation with Warner Records in 2004 would become a landmark case in the recording industry. Prince felt like a slave to his label, even after he inked a new deal in 1992, valued at almost $100 million. He wanted to own his masters and have creative freedom, but he felt like he was a slave. Later in 1996, Prince and Warner agreed to go their separate ways. Then in 2014, after almost 18 years of bouncing from record label to record label, Prince and Warner began negotiations to mend their relationship and continue doing business once again. Prince at that time was still adamant that he would not sell his catalog or license it in any way, and this may have been while he was having financial troubles because of it. He also may have known that his catalog would be getting close to the copyright termination date, and this would be the optimal time for him to make a deal. Warner Brother Records wanted to be able to maintain the licensing they already had for Prince's music, and they also wanted him to release music less frequently. Also, as previously mentioned, they too may have been trying to make a deal before any copyright termination happened. Prince's position was he wanted to get back his masters for his earlier recordings and be allowed to record whatever he wanted and distribute his music any way he wanted to. Warner's position was they wanted to maintain the rights they already had for some of his catalog while asking that Prince release new music as well as two new albums through their label. There were several concepts we learned this month in this course that helped me get through this course and also understand negotiation and deal making. Concept 1, alignment of interest. One of the concepts that works well in this negotiation is the alignment of an interest. Both parties wanted to have control over Prince's catalog in some way. Prince wanted the rights to his masters, and Warner wanted to retain as well as gain licensing for his entire catalog. Another concept was creating negative emotions. While no one except those that were involved in the negotiation know what was said or how anyone acted, there is no research to suggest that the two parties did not act in a professional manner or cause any negative emotions. Lastly, FATNA. It's all about having a backup plan. Having a backup plan may have played a huge role in this negotiation. Prince was happy with doing what he was already doing with his catalog. Nothing. By him doing nothing meant no one wins, but it also means he wins. He is guaranteed to regain control of his master recording rights when his music becomes available after 35 years and gains the ability for copyright termination. There were a couple of things that went well in this negotiation. First, Prince stayed firm in what he was asking for. He was going against a music mogul, and he never allowed that to stop him from seeking and getting what he believed he was entitled to. Next, both parties were able to build a partnership and relationship because of this negotiation. There was only one thing that went wrong in this negotiation. Prince and Warner still never seemed to have been able to work out a distribution plan that was pleasing to Prince. He continued to pull music from online stores and struggled with finding the right method of delivering music to his fans for acceptable compensation. An agreement was able to be reached between both parties. The agreement at this time is Prince will regain the rights to his masters, but there is no time frame of how long that will take and no understanding if it will be a piece at a time or his whole catalog when it becomes available. For Warner, they were able to retain their current licensing rights and get Prince back in the studio for 2 more albums with the label. Negotiations are not one sided. They also do not have to feel overwhelming because you are dealing with someone with a lot of power. By being firm and knowing what your craft skill or talent is worth, it will help you to negotiate an acceptable deal for everyone involved. Lastly, as we've seen with Prince, never stop fighting for artists' rights.